always be my inspiration. No one makes me feel the sensation. There's something special about your love. I think I'm ready to find. There's something special about your love. I'm gonna make it mine. Something about your love. There's something special about your love.
Look at the crema on it. Big, black, strong. That's how I like my coffees. No milk, no sugar. Just for reference, in case anyone wanted to know. Good morning. Did you just hear my stomach rumbling then? I am a little bit peckish. I'll be quite honest. Hunger kicked in a little bit early today. It's a rest day. On rest days, I tend to quite like to push back my first meal as much as I can. Usually around 11 or 12, and then I usually have my final meal about 8:30, 9. There's a man on the roof outside who is looking up at me, but also thinks that vlogging is weird. Let me show you. Can you see the man? He's probably not happy about the fact that I just filmed him either, but then again, he's the one that's looking up at my flat. Like, you want to look up at what I'm doing, you're gonna have to get involved. And he's hammering. Can you hear that hammering? I've got up and I've done my cardio. I'm feeling a little bit peckish, but I'm gonna have my coffee, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna do some work. I've actually got a week off from my professional job this week. But I'm very busy with coaching. I have 4 new starters to get set up today. I also have a fair few consultation calls this week. So the work doesn't stop. The reason why, when people are like, I don't know how you do it all, it's because I fucking love it. I absolutely love it. So I always make time for it. Also, a big thank you to all of you guys. There has been so much love on the last YouTube video. Big appreciation for that. Big appreciation for all of you guys. You're awesome. And I will continue to deliver to the best of my ability. Though how long my ability stays reasonable is to be questioned. Nevertheless, we continue, we get shit done. So yeah, I'm going to have my coffee, I'm going to sit down now, and I'm going to blitz through these new starter plans because I would like to have them all done and dusted for today. I like to block my work in chunks and then move on to other things. So.
I think it's one of a kind. There's something special about your love. I want it all the time. Something about you will always be my inspiration.
So meal numero uno is going in. It's midday now, so a little bit later. I've just got some cereal, protein powder mixed into yogurt, some berries. Very nice. I've done 2 plans. I'm going to eat this, carry on with work. Then when I feel like I've like perked up a little bit, I'm going to do some posing practice because it is my rest day. And that's one thing that I need to do more of is posing. So, catch you in a bit.
No one makes me feel the sensation. You will always be my inspiration. No one makes me feel the sense. Something about you. Something about your love.
Okay, I think it's time for some prep truths. I've made myself another coffee, like, it's 2:30 now. So 2 p.m. is usually the latest I have coffee because obviously the half-life of caffeine is like 5-6 hours. So half the amount will still remain in your system in 5 or 6 hours time from when you've still consumed it. But I've got a bit of tiredness creeping in. First and foremost, as fantastic as Skype sessions are for posing, like I really have learned a huge amount. it feels like for now, as it's getting a little bit more in depth rather than just, you know, like the standard poses, and I'm starting to do my walk and I'm starting to kind of like practice as if I'm coming on to, you know, see the judges. It's really hard not to have someone kind of like there and pointing me in the right direction, especially with the walk. You've got to have like a really particular flow of movement, and to make everything seem seamless. Like, there is an art to posing. Like, you need to be able to present yourself and your personality when you're on stage, and I'm kind of struggling with that bit right now in terms of nailing like the sass, if you know what I mean, like getting it flowing, getting it sassy, getting it like my personality, and just some of the intricacies of like how to walk, how to position your feet, because like when you're on stage you have to do a walk to the back of the stage so the judges can see your glutes and your hamstrings, and they're basically looking for conditioning, so not to see like any wobble, and they want to see where your glute ham tie-in is, and that in particular is very, very important, and something that I'm struggling with a little bit now, especially with the fact that I'm nowhere near lean enough yet to really be able to like nail and perfect where I kind of need to be in terms of like my specific poses or what looks best on me. So it is, again, tricky with regard to that. So I feel like a little bit frustrated, but there's no need to get frustrated. It's just more practice and more lessons that I need to get in, and I'm sure, you know, 13 weeks time I have no choice but to have nailed it by then, and I'll make sure of that. At the end of the day, do not show up to a bodybuilding show if you can't present yourself. Judges are not, in bikini especially, they're not just looking for your muscularity and for your condition. They are very much so looking for the whole package, you know, how you present yourself, your bikini, your jewelry, your makeup, how you look as a complete whole package. And that's why it's so important to get your posing right, particularly in bikini, and to have that little bit of pizzazz, if that's the appropriate word. So yeah, in terms of like tiredness and stuff, so we're 5 weeks in now of being in a deficit, and you know, still training. Cardio is now up to 4 times per week. So I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like underlying tiredness. Like, I'll be fine for like boosts throughout the day, and then suddenly I'm a bit like, you know, like when you switch a robot off and they're just like, yeah, that's kind of like, I have a few of those moments. And I'm having one of those post-posing, and I've still got a lot of work to do, hence the coffee. But that's enough nattering for
Have you ever had a dream that you
Can you see what I mean by like I'm slowly starting to switch off? I've had a package delivered. Let's go see what's in it. I love presents. Let's have a look at what we've got. So, there's a lot in here. Oh, I see. So I ordered more protein powder, but I ordered 2 kilo bags, but these are 500 gram bags. So I've got 4. My favorite, which I kind of talked about on my last vlog, where I went through all of my supplements, and I talked in detail about how probably my favorite vegan protein powder I've ever had. Well, it is, because I've used it for years. And then riderwear, because obviously you need activewear when you're, you know, not having anyone to show it off to. Smart moves, Mills. But oh, it's fierce. Look at this. Yes, I bought a matching leopard print set because I'm not a loud enough person, so I had to, you know, get the loud clothes. What do we reckon, I feel like a Flintstone. I genuinely do, but I love it. I have just trained upper body. Do I look jacked? I'm so embarrassing. I actually embarrassed myself. No, I do love it. Very comfy. Do you know what? I'm going to tell you a straight fact here. Last year, I wanted to buy another kind of leopard print set that I'd seen, like leopard print leggings, and I genuinely didn't, because I thought that it was like going to draw attention to me in the gym, and people would think that I'm just being like loud and attention seeking. Like, I genuinely cared about other people's opinions last year. I've got a loud personality. I like fun stuff. This is some fun clothing, and it's cool and it's comfy, and it's nice to feel confident enough to, like, I'm never gonna be one of those girls who looks at another girl and is like, oh my god, what the fuck is she wearing that for? But there are so many people that exist like that, and it's horrible, which is, I think, why a lot of the time in the catty nature of females, they can sometimes, you know, not want to fully be as like flamboyant or extravagant or extroverted as they are, is probably what I was trying to say. But yeah, I've just trained. I've had a really good session. My pressing strength is flying. Really happy with how training's going. I'm going to have a post-workout meal right now. I also like my coffee how I like my chocolate. So this brand, I've heard a lot about them, to be fair. Montezuma's dark chocolate. This one's lime and sea salt, and then this one's 100% cocoa dark chocolate. So I'm really interested to try these in my cream of rice. I think this one's calling my name a little bit. I'm gonna go for a bit of lime. Let's see what it's about. Okay, so my usual post-workout meal: cream of rice, salted caramel from JP Nutrition, chocolate protein powder, blueberries, chocolate, peanut butter, and salted caramel skinny food sauce with pink Himalayan salt on top. I'm going straight in for a bit with the chocolate. Well, that's quite a lot. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow.
Wow.
I'm just going to try a little bit of the chocolate by itself. Hold on. Sublime. It's absolutely wonderful. It's got really rich, like, dark chocolate taste. But then very soon after, you get that zestiness from the lime just channel right through and tickle your taste buds. I hope you don't mind, but leave us to it. I'm just gonna. Hiya. It's Q&A time. Got my decaf coffee. It's Saturday evening. So any of you watching this on a Sunday, if you are watching it on a Sunday, as in Sunday the 7th of March, then I'm impressed, because that means I've got this edited rapido style for you guys to watch and enjoy. But we are going to do an Instagram Q&A. I asked you some questions, things that are prep related and stuff. Well, I put a question box on my Instagram. If you do not follow me, coached by Millie, give me a follow. I like to do questions and stuff on there. So let's get stuck in. Let's see what you guys want to know. So the first question from Dan Casson Strength_Fitness, is my favourite and least favourite meal of prep so far. So as I kind of mentioned to you guys before, I just get given macros and I write my own kind of meal plan. I think it's really important, that you actually enjoy what you eat on prep. Not that it's so palatable and so sweet and you're such a dick in terms of being flexible that you're trying to put ice cream on stuff, because I don't think that's appropriate in terms of, firstly, it's going to play into cravings. If you're constantly putting overly palatable food into your day whilst you are on prep, and then when you start to get really hungry, everything that you're going to be craving is going to play into cravings for very palatable foods, such as high in sugar, high in fat. However, it is important to enjoy your meals and like what you are eating in order to be able to enjoy your meal times. When you're on prep, food is fuel. It's not really a luxury or something to enjoy and celebrate with. You know, you've got to detach that kind of emotion from food, because involuntarily you become more emotionally attached to it anyway, because you're fucking starving. So it's really important to enjoy your meals, but not to be a dick with them. So I enjoy all of my meals. However, I won't lie, the first 4 weeks of prep, there was one meal that I had on my plan, which was like veggie vegan mince with like just like veggies and some rice, and I actually got really bored of that very quickly, so I just swapped out the mince for like a mock meat chicken, which still has really good macros, and I enjoy that very much. So yeah, I don't have like a least favorite meal aside from the fact that, you know, I swapped that out because I didn't like it. My favorite meal probably has to be my cream of rice with dark chocolate, peanut butter and blueberries, simply for the fact that it's probably my, I don't know, it's so good. It's I put Himalayan salt on top, pink Himalayan salt, so it's got a nice contrast of salt and sweet, but also it's my post-workout meal. I'm particularly hungry after my workout and after I've trained, so that's probably also why I enjoy it a bit more. But yeah, if you're going through a prep and you're eating broccoli, chicken and rice, good luck to you, because that's going to be a hard fucking prep. Alia has asked, what is my bikini colour? Okay, so in terms of my bikini, I have not yet chosen my colour. That's still pending. I actually spoke to my bikini designer this week, and I had like a little bit of a moment, I'm not going to lie, because basically she said that the bikini design needs to be finalised 8 to 10 weeks out from my first show. We are still in lockdown 8 weeks out from my first show. 7 weeks out is when it's like the week of April 12th, when the non-essential shops are allowed to open, and she's allowed to have like fittings and consultations for bikinis again. And so that meant that I was most likely going to have my bikini consultation and kind of fitting over Zoom. I can't explain to you that the bikini, firstly, let's not talk about how much it costs. Whew. But secondly, it's like your bodybuilding wedding dress, right? It is what you're going to present all of your hard work in. It is beautiful, it is stunning, and that's probably one of the most exciting parts. So when like it's your first bikini, to have the consultation over Zoom, like I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of gutted. But after speaking to her a little bit more, she said, you know what, even if you do have the consultation 7 weeks before your first show, our turnaround time is about 6 weeks. It might be tight getting it to you and you might only get it until peak week, but that would allow you to come and have a fitting done in person. And so I've decided to take the risk. I really do want to go and have a fitting in person, and I'm going to be taking you guys along with me to go and get my bikini consultation and fitting sorted. So very grateful to Mandy at Black Ice Bikinis. I'm really, really excited for it. And in terms of letting you guys know what colour I'm going to have, you ain't going to know what the colour of my bikini is until I am on stage. So you're going to have to wait until the 6th of June to find that out. Karis has asked, most difficult thing I've found on my journey so far. To be honest, I won't lie, it's probably kind of what you guys saw this week in terms of just posing. I can't explain how like important it is to be able to present yourself and your physique on stage. You know, if you have spent, it's not just a muscle contest. It's really not. It's, especially for bikini, you know, your whole package. So if you can't present yourself, like no one tells you that you need to learn how to fucking dance when you decide to do a bodybuilding competition, but that is what posing is like. It's an art. It's presenting yourself in the most flattering way, and it's an illusion of poses and angles to make your physique look a certain way. And it's difficult. It is really difficult, especially now not being able to see anyone in person to take me through posing. It's one thing that I'm kind of struggling with a little bit. But naturally, I'm not going to bother getting up on stage if I can't fucking present myself. So I'm going to be working hard at it, but definitely posing is probably the only thing that I found quite hard. Everything else, I'm not going to lie, it's just been box ticking exercises really, because I spoke about this a little bit on my Instagram a week or two ago, but when you decide to compete, that is when your prep starts, because you need to build in the habits of appropriate sleeping routine, appropriate training routine, getting your steps in, making sure that your meals are prepped, making sure that your meal timing is, you know, in place. So I already had established all of that. Moving into prep was seamless, because all that had changed was I had a couple more 1,000 steps to do, some cardio had been implemented, and my food amount had gone down a little bit, but everything else was already there. So I found that really easy. Everything in terms of that is all good. So yeah, probably just posing is the only thing that I'm not feeling 100% on, but with hard work that will change, and fingers crossed that when I'm walking onto stage to present myself, I do not fall over in my 5-inch platform heels flat on my face, because I'm sure that's a nightmare that all bikini girls have at some point, or all competitors. So yeah, SJB_training has asked, where do I want to be in 10 years time, fitness or competition wise? I haven't got a fucking clue. I really don't know. It's my first comp. You know, who's to say that I'm not going to get on stage and absolutely despise it? Who's going to say that I'll get to stage lean and be like, I'm never, ever doing this again? I couldn't tell you. All I can tell you is that I love fitness and I love weightlifting, and I was into weightlifting before even into bodybuilding, and I love it because it's transformed the life of, well, it's transformed my own life and my clients' lives. So it is really important to me. So I know that I'll still be doing fitness and weightlifting in 10 years time if I can, but I don't know where I'm going to be in terms of competition wise. However, what I can tell you is that I'm going to be working my fucking ass on for many years to come, because still lots of improvement for the glutes to be made. Can I go through the cost of competing and ways to make it cheaper? Honey, let me tell you now, competing is so expensive. It is so expensive that I have downloaded basically a budget planner or tracker for all of my shows, and I'm actually going to take you all through the kind of cost of competing in another video in a couple of weeks, I think, because there's kind of a lot to tell you about, and there's a lot to break down. And also I've decided on what classes and stuff I'm going to enter into my shows now, so I need to get registered. I've pretty much booked in for like all kind of makeup and stuff, so I need to get bits finalised. So as I do that, I'm going to take you guys through it, and then we're going to add it all up, and then we're going to laugh at the fact that I won't be able to afford a house deposit. So yeah, I'll do that for you. Posing for beginners and the average price of it. So in terms of posing for beginners, I'm going to assume you mean like how do you start? So I started by literally just following IFBB pros from and other competitors from the federation that I'm competing with, which is 2 bros, and literally just started hitting the mandatory poses, started watching videos of them transition, then started watching, you know, practicing that, literally just copying people. Then I went to Emma Hindman's website, Emma Hindman, the posing pro, and bought her IFBB bikini posing tutorial, where I went through the mandatories and I think transitions on there as well. Then after I kind of got that under my belt, I booked in with lessons with Phoebe, which we have done over Zoom. As I said, yet to have an in-person posing session. So it's really good to get familiar with poses by yourself and to try and, you know, practice. But one thing that I kind of wish I had done earlier is just gone straight in for the bloody posing lesson, because just like poor form, if you've developed poor form at an exercise over time, you're going to have to unlearn it in order to be able to relearn the correct form. It's the same with posing. And actually there's a few times with Phoebe that I've actually had to kind of, you know, unpick some of the bad habits that I've learned in order to get back into a good posing routine. So it's really important to find a posing coach that works for you. As you've asked about the average price of it, this varies a lot. I can only talk about what I've seen, and for both Zoom and in-person posing lessons, you're probably looking for an hour posing lesson to range between like 60 and 90 to 100 pounds, depending on who you choose and how much experience they've got. But also there are different methods of being able to learn posing now. I believe Emma Hindman has a kind of members area where you might be able to check in with her. I know Phoebe has literally just launched the posing portal, where you are able to buy specific packages where you can basically send in, almost like you would send in check-in pictures to your coach, you send in check-in videos to her to assess your posing, and she gets back to you. So that's really cool. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the posing industry now to level it up and to make it more accessible and easier. So just do your research and find someone that you really click with, because they are going to be with you the whole time throughout your prep and making sure that you can present everything that you've worked so hard for on stage. So you want it to be a really good relationship. Another question from Alia, how many shows am I going to do? So I do have two bros regional qualifiers planned. So the first one is the 6th of June, the Mecca Classic, and then the second one is the 4th of July, the La Familia Championships. 2 regionals to try and get me an invite to British finals on the 1st of August. That is my game plan, because I have chosen to compete with 2 bros and I want to obviously try my very fucking best to get to finals. In all honesty, I would like to possibly compete with another federation or 2, such as NFM UK or even Fit Expo. However, all of the bodybuilding federations have decided to put their shows on the same weekends, which all clash because, you know, competition between them, and also the fact that, well, there's a whole lot of shows to be crammed in this year due to the fact that gyms and stuff have been closed and all of that nonsense. So it's a shame that I won't be able to compete with other federations, but if I want to give my all at those 2 regionals to make sure that I've got, you know, the chance to get an invite to finals, then I've got to go with that, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is my plan for my shows. A good question following on from that from Rach is, how did I decide which federation to compete with? Literally just hit some poses and decided which ones I thought I looked best in. Literally as simple as that. I did kind of research the federations a little bit, and also followed the kind of shows more closely over the last competitive season, and kind of decided to see what federations I like the look of, but mainly just actually picking a federation which I feel that I could have maybe like a little bit more chance of doing well at, because everyone's genetics are different. Everyone, you know, might be suited specifically to certain criteria and also to certain federations in terms of what they're looking for. So I just decided to go with 2 bros. There wasn't much thought process behind it. I was just like, do you know what, IFBB, let's do that. Not to say that I wouldn't compete with any other federations in the future, as I just discussed. It's just the kind of situation that has been incurred because of coronavirus, and also I can't spend a fuck ton of money on loads of shows and also expect to keep condition and perform as well in loads of shows. So you just have to be a bit strategic with what you choose. Leanne Fitness UK. Lots of love to you, my girl. She has asked, what made me realise that I was ready to commit to competing? Do you know what? When we were in first lockdown, and every single fucking day I would go out and lift bricks, breeze blocks, jerry cans full of water, and I just wouldn't stop, because it was my like therapy. It was something that I was trying so hard to like work and get better at over time, and I just didn't give up. And I was just like, what the fuck am I working so hard for? Life is too short. I'm just going to do it. It was a fuck it moment. It was a fuck it, I'm going to compete. And also, like, I had basically, from January 2020 until June 2020, that 6-month period of the first of last year when I decided to compete, it was when I was getting back into training after a prolonged time of being ill and out of the gym. I was ill from a flare-up of inflammatory bowel disease, and I lost a lot of weight. So I was quite lean. I was like skinny fat, should I say, going back into 2020 or starting 2020. And that meant when I started resistance training, I almost had like it was like newbie gains again, because I'd been out for so long from training, and I started putting on muscle tissue quite quickly, and I just loved it. Like, I'd never focused on solely just bodybuilding, because previously I'd been very much so focused on powerlifting and Olympic lifting, which is what I did at uni. But this time around, I was like, do you know what? I just want to regain muscle mass because I looked flat as a fucking pancake. But I fell in love with that process. And I think it's because I'd never just tried bodybuilding by itself before. And so, yeah, I had the fuck it moment. I had a consultation with Danny. I decided that I wanted to work with her. I was in a cut. I was like halfway through my cut when I started with Danny. And for the rest of that cut, I said to her, I want to carry on for a little bit more. And in my head, I treated it like a mini prep. So I ticked every single box. I did everything that I possibly could. I obviously never got anywhere close to stage lean, but I just treated that whole fat loss journey like a prep. I did not miss a step. I did not miss a cardio session. I got all of my training done. Nutrition was on point, and I just proved to myself that I could do it. And so that's why I'm 12 weeks out right now. What to look for in a good coach? Is it bad when they have lots of clients? The one thing that you want to look for when it comes to a coach is firstly their clients and their clients' results. Are they able to, actually do the job? Then after that, well, alongside that, you want to know that that coach has the appropriate knowledge, and not just they can get someone shredded to fuck because, they starve them and treat them like shit. But do they have the knowledge in terms of what they're doing? Do they post informative content? Do they have social media such as YouTube, such as podcasts, where they teach you and inform you about things? Have you spoken to their clients? What do their clients have to say for them? What's their client retention rate like? There is so much that goes into being an excellent coach. Only you will be able to find out if that coach is for you by speaking to them directly. You would want to have a consultation together to see if you could work together, to ask them everything that you might need to ask them. You want to have that person show you time and interest, because that is going to be the person that's going to be showing you time and interest when they coach you. So there's a lot that goes into it. I'm not one of these people that believes if a coach has, you know, like lots of clients that they're a bad coach. Some coaches are fucking excellent and have all the time in the world for their clients. What comes down to it is how much they care. You can have 2 coaches who both have 100 clients. One coach could spend a massive amount of time responding to their clients with really high quality, even if they have 100 clients, and then you can have the other coach who works 2 days a week with 100 clients and gives them the yes or no or just trust me bro answers. So there's no right or wrong in terms of on the surface level. You just need to really go and do your digging and your research and find out whether someone is right for you. Final question. What motivates you? What motivates me is probably knowing that I'm doing everything in my power to be the best fucking version of me and to literally achieve everything that I want by working my fucking ass off for it, basically. I never want to turn around and say that I could have tried harder. Never. That's what motivates me. Literally just being able to make sure that I'm giving 110% and that I can be proud of myself. Some people are in the game to compete against others and to prove themselves to others. I'm in the game to prove myself to me. And some people will say that's naive and stupid when it comes to bodybuilding, but it's the case. Like, it is the case for me. I want to make sure that I am doing the best I can for me and for the girl that I used to be, where I, you know, never would have imagined that I am where I am today. Like, I never would have imagined it, and that's why, to prove to her and to me that we fucking did it, and we are continuing to do the very, very best that we can, and also alongside all of that to do my very fucking best to help others achieve what they want and realise their potential as well. That is the exact reason that I do what I do. That's the exact reason that I coach you, Karis, who just asked that question, to prove to you how fucking awesome you are, and the same with many other people, because it really does make me happy. So yeah, that's what motivates me. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys. Thank you so much to all of you who always show me so much love and support on my videos. I've got a good one coming for you next week, so please do stay tuned. Leave a comment below, leave a like, show me some love, and I will catch you in the next one. Much love to you all.